What's up, YouTube? Let's get to it. Alright, man, so today we got Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Now, Terence Crawford put something on Twitter where he said Canelo versus Crawford is definitely by far the biggest fight in boxing. Now listen, I have to agree with him on that. Even though he's 147, Canelo's 168. If this fight were to happen, it would be the biggest fight in boxing. I mean, you're talking about two undisputed champs, one of them at 147, one of them at 168. Now, if it were to happen, of course, Crawford would have to go up to 168 because Canelo definitely ain't coming down to no 147.
Payday.
Now, another thing, Canelo had an interview and he actually sounded like he was interested in this. Now, we all know before that he didn't really seem interested, but now he's actually saying, I'm down. He also helped to voice his concern. Here's go to a clip right here.
Another opponent out there for you. You're going back and forth with him a little bit. Terence Crawford all of a sudden. It's as if there's a lot of momentum and now he's open to fighting you at 168 pounds. Is this an intriguing matchup for you? Are you serious? Could you seriously consider this fight if it's there for the taking for you?
Look, I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, and I always say that. No disrespect him, but sometimes it's a little crazy that people talking about I'm gonna face a small fighter like Charlo. He's big, which he is big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford, fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say that right now. I don't understand, right? Because you're talking about I take Charlo, he's 2 weight classes lower than me, and then you're talking about Crawford and this and that. At the end of the day, I don't want to have credit to face Crawford, right? So no matter what, but you never know. You never know in boxing.
Absolutely.
I'll go up and down and fight everybody out there. So it's possible. Why not? It's possible. Why not?
You're a businessman, Canelo. I'm sure if it makes business sense, you'll.
If it makes sense, I'm down to do it. I don't care who is there. I'm always able to fight anybody.
All right, so that was Canelo right there on the clip that you guys just heard. He was basically saying that he's down to do it, but he already know that they ain't gonna try to get him credit because he's basing it off of what they doing now. They are trying to discredit him right now because he's fighting CaneloCharlo, who is 2 weight classes lower than him.
I know that.
Even though CaneloCharlo most likely walk around at 168 anyway, his natural weight, they're trying to say it's a cherry pick because he's 2 weight classes lower, even though he's naturally bigger than Canelo.
Shut the fuck up.
So imagine him fighting Crawford, somebody who's 3 weight classes lower than him. They definitely going to try to say it's a cherry pick, and they're definitely not going to try to give him credit. What I'm here to tell you, you hear here first, I will give him credit if he were to fight Terence Crawford and if he were to beat him.
I was born ready.
For one thing, it can't be a cherry pick. You're talking about an undisputed champion. Terence Crawford is undisputed. CaneloCharlo is undisputed. That can't be a cherry pick. No matter what weight we're talking about, it can't be a cherry pick.
Payday.
Because listen, Canelo was once at 147, or did you guys forget that?
Go look up the history.
Then he also was once at 175, where he beat the champ and became the champ himself at 175. So you're telling me that Canelo can go from 147 and all the way to 175 and do this, but nobody else can't? Because if somebody else do it, it's going to be called a cherry pick. No, it's not a cherry pick. If Canelo beats Crawford, he gets full credit, at least from me.
My goal was to get some money.
Now, do I think he's going to beat Crawford? No, I've already said that.
Get the f out of here, man.
I've already said I don't think that he beats Crawford. If he did, he gets full credit from me. But do I think he beats him? No, I think Crawford is going to go in there and handle his business. I think he's going to do the same thing that he did to Errol Spence. I mean, Canelo's style is almost similar to Errol Spence.
I'll beat his ass any day.
And I know some people are going to say, well, what about his power though? You know what I'm saying? Crawford ain't got that much power. Well, if you really want to bring power into this, Crawford actually got way more power than Canelo.
I see no confidence. I don't even feel that. Say it again.
Crawford actually got way more power than Canelo.
Oh, I still don't feel it.
I mean, if you look at the knockout ratio, you know, Canelo knockout ratio is 66%. Crawford knockout ratio is 77%. So that seems as if he got more power, right? And I know somebody gonna say, well, what if his power don't translate to 168 from 147? Well, one thing about Crawford is that he never even relied on power anyway.
To this day.
He never had to rely on power. If the knockout comes, it comes. He even said that himself. What he relied on is timing and precision. That's where most of his knockouts come from. They don't come from because he relies on his power. He relies on timing. He relies on precision. He relies on his ring IQ, on his intelligence, on his footwork. All these things in the ring that he do. This is what he rely on. Then I know somebody gonna say, well, but the only reason his knockout ratio is higher because he got less fights. And Canelo got more fights than him. Well, I'm here to tell you right now, to this day, if Crawford had 56 fights, his knockout ratio would still be higher.
What?
Now, his average is 7 knockouts per 10 fights. He gets 7 knockouts per 10 fights. So if you were to add 10 more fights on there, there would still be 7 more knockouts than what he got now, which will come up to 47. Which will come up to 38 knockouts. And that'll be 2 more knockouts than Canelo, actually. But they're just 50 fights. What if it go up to 56? That's still to take his knockout percentage up a little more based on his average. So if he had around 56 fights, his ratio will be around 43%. But if this fight were to happen, and if Canelo happened to beat Terence Crawford on this channel, he'll get full credit because he deserves it.